Sycos First Nation, on whose land we live, work, and play. You have an agenda in front of you. Now, just one note on the agenda, we have a schedule that's different to the layout there, so I'll be calling out the groups as we go. All the groups know their time, so we'll be moving through. It'll just take us a little bit of shuffling around to get caught up. Would somebody like to move adoption? We'll have Dave second. All in favor? Carried. Awesome. Three grant and aid applications. So we'll start with Children's Theatre. Mr. Ruth.
That's okay. You're allowed to say that though. I'm in your guys' house now. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Richard. I run Vancouver Children's Theatre, and I own 2 clothing stores in town, so I'm a big part of the community. This year is our 25th anniversary for Children's Theatre. So I started in '96, and so this is our biggest show that we've done to date, The Lion King. We have 70 kids ages 7 to 18. That being said, this show is massive. The puppets that we need to order, the special effects, our communication system for backstage is too small for what we need. So we are asking council if they can help us with a grant to purchase some of this. We did purchase costumes to rent. We got them here. Unfortunately, that was a waste of $6,000. Most of them are not usable. They have holes in them. They stink. So we are starting from scratch. So far we've spent an additional $15,000 on costumes. And we haven't even got into our set pieces yet. And I just got a quote to upgrade our communication system. It's another $12,000. So my group, like many groups, we're out there fundraising like crazy. You will see Children's Theatre at every major function, to applying for grants, to picking bottles, selling chocolates, and we would appreciate any help we could get from the district.
Anybody have any questions for Richard?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Councillor Martins.
Thanks, Richard.
Yep.
Just wanted to compliment you on what you've done. Like, that's very important. And how did just out of curiosity, how did the mix-up happen with the renting costumes? Was that just bad luck?
Bad luck.
Yeah.
I had 2 parents go down and get them. Most of it was in bins. From pictures online, they looked amazing.
Right.
Until they got there, and as we were unloading that trailer, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what have we done? There is pieces that we're able to use. Being the Lion King, we want to go basically your Broadway style that most are going to expect with the puppets and the masks. All our lion masks we are able to use, but with a cast of 70, we have to increase those costumes. So on average, each student's going to have 5 to 6 costumes. So we're talking 350 costumes. But when you break that down, that's going to be 3,000 or 4,000 pieces.
Right.
Of whether it's a puppet, a piece of clothing, a hat. So
Excuse me.
you can imagine how much that is. But unfortunately, yes, when the trailer was open and we went through it, there's some, but most of it is not to our standard.
Yeah.
We have a standard and we're not going to just drop to it. It was a lesson learned.
Yeah, you want to stick to your standards, absolutely. Yes. And just don't let that discourage you, because you do great work for our community.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Anybody else got a question for Richard?
That was easy. Sorry. That's it? Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and have a good night. All right.
Thank you.
Oh, I could do that once a month. But in that chair. Thank you.
Thanks. We'll see you. Would you like to start early, Paul?
Go. Yeah.
Might as well.
They're willing to crank this up for us.
Okay, what's that doing now? Okay. There you go. And then,
Yep, that's right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, instead of just sitting here and reporting, I can actually give you a bit more information. So going to give you a quick reminder of Air Show 22. In case you've forgotten, big success. We had a best air show yet. About 5,000 spectators. We had 25 aircraft fly in, parked 1,200 cars, 8 vendors. It was a good day. This is what your airport looks like when it's in full swing. Quite impressive to see everything used on the airport here. Okay. This is what it looks like in the parking areas. And here's your happy spectators. Oh yeah, there we go. You can just see the parachute guys coming down in the front there. Okay, where did the money go from the last air show? Well, amongst local organizations that assisted us with the air show, we donated to Search and Rescue, Connexus, the Masons, Cadets, Rangers, and the Fire Department. And altogether, we distributed $6,750 from the air show to participating volunteer organizations. Our overall budget in 22 was nearly $200,000. And a lot of this was obviously advertising, accommodation, food, dinner and dance, hired services. So over $104,500 spent directly locally. And we did have to retain sufficient funds for the startup of the next show. And talking about the startup of the next show, one of our mandatory things is that we send representatives to the International Council of Air Shows in Las Vegas. And unfortunately, it didn't coincide with the Grand Prix, which was yesterday, but it's coming up in December. And we have to take a membership of the International Air Show Society. To do this, we have to then take at least 2 members, fly them down there. They've got to live in the lap of luxury for a couple of days in the hotels. We don't provide any gambling money. Okay. So our estimated budget for this is around $5,700. And unfortunately, we don't have any money coming in from the air show at the moment. And that's why we're coming to you for a grant in aid. Hopefully we can get some assistance towards this mandatory component that we have. Without the International Council of Air Shows, we wouldn't be able to book the performers that come here. And incidentally, when you walk into that air show meeting, thousands of people from all across the US, they know the name of Vanderhoof, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. I haven't been to this, but the reports are that, oh, you're from Vanderhoof. We know all about Vanderhoof. So that's one of our big international flags that we can fly every year and down in Vegas. So that's the presentation, very short and sweet. And hopefully we can get some help with our next component, okay? Thank you. Oh, any questions? Yeah.
No questions. Okay. Oh, sorry, I missed that, Ernest. There you go.
Yeah, again, congrats on a good show. Is that, the way the world has gone the last year, it costs way more than it did 2 years ago, right? So
Yeah.
even accommodations and fuel costs and stuff,
Yes.
I'm sure that's going to change your budgeting too,
Yeah,
right?
I did provide you with the budget. I don't know if you've got
Okay.
that in your printed version.
Yeah, it is in there farther on.
The budget for this is like nailing jelly to the wall. It is really, really hard to do. So we're potentially $60,000 short on that budget there, which is around $300,000. You can take 50,000 out of it because we're not going to get Corb Lund.
Right.
That was a great idea.
Yeah.
Someone said, let's get Corb Lund for the dinner dance. And then I looked at his agent and it's 50,000 bucks plus all the other stuff. And then
Really?
we thought, are we actually doing an air show or are we doing a rock concert or a concert with an air show thrown in? And we
Yeah.
decided to keep it pure and dispense with Corb Lund. But if
Good.
somebody wants
Yep.
to do that sometime, I think it'd be a great thing for Vanderhoof to have a concert with Corb Lund.
I think it is a good idea. I mean, you don't make money in concerts. I can vouch for that, but it's a big name does bring people.
Yes.
I agree with that
Yeah.
for sure. But it's more about air show than it is about big band, I would think. So
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
we decided that was a great idea, but no, not going to do it.
good. Thanks.
Okay, any other questions?
Councillor Bowman.
Okay, thank
Just
you.
quickly, Paul,
Yeah.
when is ICAS this year? I know it's in December, but
December 8th, I think.
December 8th.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's coming up very soon.
Thank you.
And we got the two people spotted to go. They have their missions. We're gonna try it. We actually probably are gonna have one of the big US military assets up here, the Warthog.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody know what that is?
The A10, yeah.
Yeah, well, we booked them and they haven't said no yet. So cross your fingers, okay?
Okay.
But hopefully we're gonna get another little jet or two and some, yeah.
Thank you very much, Paul.
As long as it doesn't bring ammunition with it.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
So before you go, Paul, I just had a couple.
Yeah.
Just noticed there wasn't an in-kind on here as well. I assume that will be coming, but
Yes, again, in kind is really hard to count.
no, for us, an
Oh,
in-kind
you-
request.
Yeah, again, hard to count, but we appreciate it. And obviously you.
Yeah.
The Vanderhoof is the owner of the airport, so we like to think of.
For sure, and we like to see it that way, but it would be good as we move forward if we can start to get those requests coming in this process. That's what we ask of other groups. So just, it's the same things every time, right?
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, you can pretty much.
So if we could just,
Normally
moving
do that
forward.
through Gary. Or Chad as it was before.
it would be through Gary as it is right now, or maybe different by that time, but
Okay.
but the request should come to council just to release it, right?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have, you know, a particular person we can contact to make this work. Would Gary be the right person?
Yeah, it would be Margaret because it's releasing financial assets, right?
Yeah, we just need one contact person. Yeah. Sure. Okay, we'll make sure it's through you. Thank you.
Great. So we'll wait for Carrie Sakani. Yeah. Hey. We're ahead of schedule, so you can get right in the hot seat.
Look at us go.
First off, congratulations, Sheldon.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's awesome. Yeah, we're pretty excited. BC plays on Friday, yeah.
Wonderful luck, man.
Thanks, yeah. It's gonna be a tough task, but I think we can manage them. We'll be okay. That's the plan. Just to go back there and do it again the next week on the second. So, yeah. We play the 25th Saturday at 11 a.m. Yeah. And then we're back. So if we win, we go on, and if we lose, we're done. But I couldn't have asked for a better season. Like, it's been pretty cool. Unreal. Yeah. You guys have our PowerPoint, correct? Yeah. No.
Yeah, we did send one.
Pretty sure.
There was one sent over on Friday. All right, we
Could've
can
been-
also wing it. That's.
Yeah. That's
Totally fine.
cool. Whatever.
We get to do whatever we need to do. I was gonna let Sheldon kind of take the lead. Sheldon currently right now is our acting team lead for over at CO right now. Manager position. Jersey Lake, Herons Lake, and the Vanderhoof area. And Hannah's on our leave still, so Sheldon is in the acting.
Yeah.
lead position at this time, so tell me when you need me, because we are on the spot. Literally.
Oh, yeah, that's totally cool.
Good.
Yeah, so I've been at the youth center for almost 4 years now. I've December 9th will be my 4-year mark. And honestly, I love what I do, or I wouldn't be there for that long. So I'll tell you a little bit about what we do. So the CO means my house. Youth center is for ages 12 to 19. We, as youth services, have ages from service youth ages 8 to 29. And but our center is 12 to 19. Our numbers right now are absolutely ridiculous. Last, I think 2 Mondays ago, we hit a record of 104 youth in one day. And that was through the lunch hour drop-in and the after-school drop-in. A lot of them were duplicates after school, so you only try to count them once, right? So, yeah, they love it there. We offer them a lot of different things. On Mondays, we have a lunch program for them. So there's always a hot meal there for them on Mondays, and there's always snacks, free Wi-Fi, a whole bunch of stuff that they enjoy. And on Tuesdays, we offer snack. There's no meals, it's just snack on the Tuesday. And then we kind of close it down for more one-to-one work in the afternoon. That's when we start to serve more of our clients in the higher age group. So the 19 to 29-year-olds, try to get more done with them, whether it be resume building or driver's license or just cover letters, going out into community to actual drop off resumes and drop off a bunch of different things. Certain life skills, you even going grocery shopping. I've gone grocery shopping with clients many times and just kind of teaching them what their budget is, how they do that kind of stuff. Yeah, basic life skills, stuff you should have learned in school but didn't, and you found out the hard way. And then on Wednesdays, we're back open again at lunchtime with a hot meal again. And Wednesdays, we close the center down for our younger age groups. It's called the Walk Tall program. And so that is for ages 8 to 11 or 8 to 12, sorry. And we do a whole bunch of different activities with them, recreational activities, cultural activities, a whole bunch of different things. One of my fondest times working on that program was when we had a grilled cheese competition, and it was sweet and savory. And they got a little crazy on the sweet part. I'm telling you right now, Sour Patch Kids and cheese does not go well together. So we tried to have a little bit of a judging of that, and I was like, okay, I can't eat anymore, you guys. Like, someone please step in for me. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. They learn lots, and we also have elders come into the building too to tell stories. We've done some drum rattle making, some drum painting, nature walks, a whole bunch of different type of activities for them. So it's a really cool program. The kids love it. It's one of their favorite things. I also drive bus for School District 91, and I drive the Cycus route, and I see a lot of them that come to the center on my bus, and they're always like, "Do I have youth today?" I said, "Yeah, you have youth today." "Do I have youth today? What are we doing?" And so I kind of let them know what's going on, and then they decide to come then and there if they're not coming or not. So,
Yeah.
And then on Thursdays we have snack again at lunchtime, and then close for the evening for junior girls walk tall. So we have the junior boys on the Wednesday and the junior girls on the Thursday, and then Friday we're closed at lunch to catch up on our paperwork and to again have more one-on-one time with our older clients or clients that are in school as well. Did I miss anything?
No,
yet?
I think that's good. I think just some of the highlighted points, definitely for sure, we've seen again another increase every year. We're just seeing increasingly more and more of the youth. I think what's been kind of nice for us too is that before our demographic, especially at the lunchtime hour, was kind of our like 12, like our grade 8s and our grade 9s primarily. But we've actually seen that our grade 9s are actually sticking with us a little bit more. We've actually and continue to get some of the even the older kids that are coming in a bit more. So we're happy that we're starting to like expand a bit on our demographic for that piece. And then we've been able to grow a little bit more just as like Carson County ourselves with our youth services department. So we have more services available as the one-to-one services. This year we were successful in hiring, the name is an intensive youth social worker. We tend not to use that obviously with the kids, very intimidating. So a social worker that's working on some of the more complex youth files with us too. So trying to work very closely a little bit with the schools and those kind of pieces and being in there. recruitment and retention, as everybody knows, it's a huge barrier for us. It's been extremely big barrier. I think I have 6 positions, I think 4 of them alone here, just in Vanderhoof for our expansion. So housing is one of our main pieces. We were successful in bringing out 2 people that are not from Vanderhoof, so which took a lot of lobbying, and I feel thankful that I actually live here and I have some of my own connections, because it should made a difference with them getting places here in town. So that's been one of the barriers that we've been facing, like many other organizations here. But I think those are kind of like some of the highlighted pieces. Definitely the increase with the kids, like it's.
Yeah, the 104 isn't just the one-off. We've had 103, we've had 102, we've had 90, like it's just consistent. So, and honestly, back when I first started, we were happy to get 10, 12, and we are like, man, that's a huge win. And then now it just, one day, all of a sudden, it just kind of clicked, and then everybody kind of realized what we were about and what we were doing. And then we're just constantly filling out sign-in sheets. I'm like, who are these people? And we have a good system that's going right now. So they come in, they see usually me at the front desk, and I sign them in, get their name, their age, and their nation, where they're from, and then they head on in for their snack and their drink. And then we have different various activities in the center that can also work as well. Like we have the foosball, air hockey. We got a new basketball hoop, a punching bag. If you guys ever have a chance, please come over and check out the center. Like it looks very small, but it's actually quite big inside. And then we also have the mural outside that we did on the Indigenous Day in 2022 that the youth are actually a part of and helped do that as well. Yeah.
Trying to think what else off the top of my head. And it might be we just merged over to 365, and like my emails have been nightmares lately. So it might be that, but that's okay. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Which is great. No, that's good, but that's okay.
I
You can go
think
on the
we've,
spot.
I think
Feel a
we've,
little
I
bit.
think we've covered everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what other kind of pieces. We are trying to definitely expand in other areas, but the recruitment piece, the biggest challenge with that is we realize that like offering some grief and loss support is it's been a very difficult, especially for our youth, especially for our youth within Cycles community. So it's been a really difficult piece for us. My staff have done great. It's been a hard year on all of them too as well. But part of that, what we're really trying to do too is, and Sheldon had mentioned, but a big focus is to bring that cultural piece in. So we're fortunate that we have about 4 or 5 elders and knowledge holders that are coming in on a regular basis to, sometimes it's just sitting and being present within our space, but they're coming out to the walk tall and being there for our younger demographic on a regular basis. And really, honestly, we're trying to get to the point where we're co-facilitating these pieces together so that the cultural aspect is really embedded into those pieces.
Yeah, and they really enjoy the storytellings that the elders offer to themselves, and the drumming and the dancing and the singing, and it's really cool to see. And I like how they engage in their cultural activities as well.
Awesome. Any questions? Councilor Vandola?
Thanks, Sheldon. Just wondering if, have you guys been able to track the number of kids and the involvement you've had with them on whether their graduation rates at the school have increased because of the program?
We have not, like, I don't have that information, and I don't actually know that they would be able to, well, some of it they might be able to release a little bit, but we're not, we haven't been given those kind of.
I was just wondering if there was a correlation, you know,
Yeah.
because of obviously if they're more engaged with you guys, then that might, you know, the stepping piece might be that they need more engaged at school and all the rest.
I know the because all the grade 6s come, we try to get a tour for them before school ends. And then when they come into grade 7 in September, well, that's I think where our huge increase in numbers have been, because, you know, even though they're 11, but they're still turning 12 within the calendar year, that they can still attend the center. But I think that's where a lot of our kids have come from right now, is it's new, it's fun. They've never seen it before, and they're telling their friends.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, it would be interesting to have that information.
Yeah.
To see how much. It's hard to gather those pieces sometimes, like all of those, whether it was a direct correlation with us or with the multiple people that are involved in it, right, in those support teams. I hope that we are making a difference. That's the point of what we're doing there. I do feel that like our youth are coming like back to us, and even like some of our older ones will just come hang out sometimes, just even like the ones that have graduated, they'll just come hang out for the day because they know that they can come there, or they'll be like, I need help with this. Yeah, it's definitely what I've received from recently. We've had some other managers from our departments and come in and sit in, especially during our lunch hour service, and they are amazed how well the youth come into there, because it's a lot of kids. It's in a very, very short period of time. And in that space, you would think that it'd be pretty chaotic when you're running 100 kids through that small space. It seems big, but it's small. when there's-
Yeah.
So, but the way that they are in there, they're super respectful. It literally is, you can tell it's their space. It's their home. They respect it like their own space. And with the diversity in there, like I've been in this position for 2 years. And I can honestly say I've never seen any sort of physical or like arguments or anything among the diversity of the groups within there. And to me, that those are like the pieces that truly show me that we're doing a really good thing, like even that in itself. And that's just one small piece.
And they respect the center. They respect each other. They respect the workers. We've never had an issue with, someone telling someone off or anything, or being threatening towards staff at all. They do have to get daily reminders to clean up the garbage, but that's everybody. Yeah. Yeah, it's just constant.
Teenagers.
Yeah. But yeah, like Aaron was saying, with the older demographic, we had a youth that was 19 just come in and hang out today because he was just excited and had to download some games on his Xbox or something. I don't know, just let him do his thing. But it's just cool to see that the older demographic are not too cool for the youth center, or they're not saying it's lame or anything. Like, they want to be there, and that's huge.
Awesome. Any other questions? Just one from myself. Rio Tinto funding 2 more years of guaranteed funding?
Yes, so we just received it recently, so yes, we have secured the Rio Tinto funding for the 3-4
Yeah.
terms, which is extremely helpful.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate the time.
Sorry about the lack of presentation. We both.
The game will be live streamed. Yeah, absolutely. I'll send the link out on the community message board.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I just got word we have 3 provincial all-stars. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, what's that? Yeah, that's Cooper Zeiler, Ben Wall, and Cole Malo. 3 provincial all-stars. They'll be announced tonight. Thanks for everything, guys.
Yeah, you betcha.
Stuck on the air show.
I'll go ahead and vote for the youth center there. I've stopped in there a couple times, and the kids there are always pretty respectful. I'm usually dressed as a fire chief and not as a bike club president, but they're quite a pleasant bunch to interact with. I did. I wore the shirt because Ken likes to give me a rough time if I'm not wearing the swag that he did, and he's not even here. So, yeah. All right, well, thank you for having us. This is Amber Tate. She's been on the board for about a year. I've been on the board for 3 or 4 years. If you mark it in number of hours sort of volunteering, it's usually somewhere around 30 to 50 hours a year that we're up there maintaining the trails and just looking after things. And then anyway, so we'll jump into this. Amber is big on, she just stepped into the treasurer's role. And before that, she was big onto the trail maintenance and all that. So we have a bit of a slide deck here, and then we'll do some questions afterwards. Or if you guys have questions as we go along, don't hesitate. So this is a picture that we took just after we did a bit of a big cleanup. And it was just before we got an excavator in there to do some soil erosion mitigation. So we'll jump into that, and this is sort of the before picture, and then we'll go to some more slides afterwards just to show you what we've been doing. So who we're gonna start off with who we are and what we've been up to. We have a bit of a proposed plan for 2024 with a budget. We go into a few slides on funding needs, and then we just reaffirm our commitment to residents and visitors. And I do want to stress visitors. There's often when we go up there just to either ride the trails or do some maintenance. And there's some people along the Highway 16 corridor. They know our trails. They know them well. And if you want to stop for a picnic and ride some trails while you're in a location, we're kind of like right roadside. So people are pretty impressed with what we got going on here. So, okay, so a little bit of the history with the DOV. Our club is a registered society. It goes back to 2008. We lease land from the District of Vanderhoof, and that's through an agreement that we're looking to renew with the district. We've received grants from the District of Vanderhoof in the past years, and we're looking to, like I say, update our agreement with the district, just for the formality piece of that. So. So our current board of directors. So we had our AGM yesterday, and as of January 1st, 2024, our board of directors is going to be me again. Amber Tate's taking on the treasurer role. Nicole Hansen is our trustee secretary, always keeping track of what we say and what we promise we're going to do. Derek Funk is our park master. Stephanie Sutton is director at large, as well as Colton, Anna, and Hunter O'Meara. So missing from this list are a couple of people that were on last year. So Nicole Lance, she was the vice president, and then Jeff Lance, he was the trail master. So just looking after the trails, and if we had a work bee, he would be directing us to what needs attention and all that. So this is the trail network, and it works out to about 35 kilometers of trail that we look after on any given year. So it takes a little bit of tools, a little bit of fuel, and a lot of labor to look after this. We're going to get into the volunteer hours and all that later on, but this is our proposed budget for 2024. Can't quite see the bottom side of it, but it shows a deficit year coming up. And what we've done is we've built, let me just see if we can do something. Right. All right. All right, so now you can see that we have a proposed deficit of $4,700. And what we've been doing is we've been putting some money aside. And what we haven't been doing is updating our signage. And we're looking at putting in a tool stand with a little covered area for people to do some maintenance on their bike. So we had the tool stand. It's about $900 to $1,000 that was donated from Nechako Outdoors. And we're just wanting to build a spot where it's housed and where it doesn't get rained or snowed on. And then Rough Cut is a wooden feature that we have on one of our trails. And Rough Cut is in a bit of a hurting condition. So we're not able to ride it right now. It's a raised boardwalk and a tree fell on it. So one of those things where we try hard to keep up on a lot of things. And I have a picture here coming up where it was another sort of area that sure enough, another tree kind of fell on that. So. And so on the income side, we do have $2,500. We're very hopeful that we're successful in the grant and aid. And then roughly we're running about 25 members a year. And of course, it's all basically if you believe in our mission and vision, then people sign up. It's free to the public if you just wanted to drop in. And of course, we have to prepare for people just dropping in and not doing it. But we're hopeful that we can sign 25 people up. Okay, so jumping into our needs. what we're needing is a grant and aid to help us support us and some of those hard costs. So our insurance, as you might have saw on our budget, is running about $1,400. We get that through Oasis Outdoor Adventure, and that covers us for people that, you know, either consciously or unconsciously get into a tricky situation where they get injured. And we definitely don't want anything coming back on us as directors or the district. So we're looking for support to maintain access to the bike club and trail system. So I know the Director of Public Works, he's been very helpful, and anytime that we ask for some grading to happen or anything like that, he's quite quick to get people onto it. Other times we've asked, we have a standpipe in the park, and so that's access for our water. And so we go and we wet down some of the jumps after some of this excavation and all that happens. And then we're looking for help, as it says in our application. We have an outhouse up there, and we're wanting to get put onto the circuit. Heidi has been quite helpful, and you know, we've been talking about doing something like that where the other outhouses with the district of Van Hoof are looked after and well stocked. So we're just looking for that. So, and that's our basic asks this year. Our needs from 2023 have been met and surpassed. We've been successful in getting a grant. And some of that is for these pictures here. The left picture is some new ditching that we had done. We had an excavator come up there, and just so we can get some of that rain and some of the runoff to go to the outside of the park and not down that middle strip of land where we like to bike up. On the right-hand picture, we have Colton and Anna showing off some of our new tools that we got. The Anna's sporting the leaf blower that's kind of amazing at dressing the trails. And Amber here is quite proficient at using the leaf blower.
First time wasn't. After that, you get the hang of it, and yeah, it's an amazing tool.
And then Colton is sporting our new brush trimmer. So that's something that we use on an ongoing basis just to push the grass back, deal with all the thistle and all that. So it ended up being about a $4,400 project to do those two things, and then get Randall O'Meara up there to do some of the woodwork boardwalks and all that. Just getting rid of the rotten wood and all that. So, and so that project was sponsored fully by NKDF, and they're under $5,000 project. So they were very, very generous, and they're hoping to get some photo ops, and then we can post about it a bit more come the spring. So, okay, so our commitment to residents and visitors. You know, Jeff was here for the good portion of the summer, but he still topped out with over 30 hours for tree removal and grass trimming, but he's since moved away. Next up was me, 30 hours just looking after some tree removal and trying to get trees off the trails. Derek Funk and Randall O'Meara, they did a lot for park maintenance above and beyond what Randall was in charge of for that project piece. My two boys, Benjamin and Samuel, they were both up there for at least 25 hours on and off, just doing some of that grass mitigation, pushing the grass back. It's amazing how you can quickly lose a trail if you don't do some of that pieces. So, and then Amber, I don't know how accurate 20 hours is for debris and leaf blowing, but it might be far surpassing that. But anyway, our goal again is to keep our total volunteer force of 12, and then plus a lot of community members. We can see 4 or 6 people just show up just because they saw a post on Facebook. So we just give them a tool and give them a task, and they go ahead and do it. And then our other commitment is continue to keep the space available to a variety of users throughout the year. So the people that we see up there is lots of dog walkers, lots of people even training for trail runs and whatnot. And then we're coming up to tobogganing season. And there's quite often you'll see a lot of people going up there toboggan. So it's a pretty nice, gentle slope. There's a nice way to get up in the middle, and then you can kind of pick your adventure from there. So, and that's basically it. You know, it's quite a nice asset for the residents of Van Hoof, and we're pretty happy to keep it going. Here we have a couple of pictures coming up. And so on the left, we have hitting the wall that was recently fixed as well. And this was taken on our open house day. And that happened in the beginning of June, maybe late May, something like that. I think it was beginning of June, June 11th. Yeah. And it's something that we advertise. And this year we had over 50 people show up. So that's just a bit of a doubling effect from last year. And on the right, we have some of our local mechanicking folk looking after just basic a bike check, and some people bring us a bit of a broken bike on our open house day, and that's not what we do. But they think that it's an open house and we can get a new chain out of the deal. So, but yeah, we do light refreshments and granola bars is what we go after. Sort of the mountain bikers palate is not too refined, so we don't get too crazy. And yeah, so that's Ripping the North Bike Club.
Great. Any questions for Craig or Amber?
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, our pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay, Connexus.
Actually, Tammy could be here. Yeah, I could do both of them. Yeah, seniors connected. So this will be short. I got it all written down because I don't like to talk in front of a bunch of people. But anyways, Tammy couldn't be here tonight because she had to stay at work because we have no staff. So this is for Tammy, and she does the Meals on Wheels program. So Meals on Wheels is more than just a meal. It is a family volunteers delivering affordable, nutritious meals to seniors and people with disabilities in our community who need assistance. We currently have 15 Meals on Wheels recipients, 6 full-time volunteer drivers, and 6 backup volunteer drivers. All our meals are prepared and packaged at Riverside Place by the kitchen staff and are delivered by our volunteers to our clients. We deliver meals 5 days a week, including statutory holidays, and up to a maximum of 10 meals a day. We aim to keep our deliveries within town limits. With the ever increasing prices of groceries and packaging supplies, our cost to supply these meals has increased substantially, so we have presently applied for a grant to assist with these costs. Thank you. Okay, and I'm Jody Dennell from Connexus Community Resources at Riverside Place, speaking to you on behalf of Sandy Ferguson, who is at a housing conference in Vancouver. In my position, I oversee the recreation program as well as the Seniors Connected program. We are based out of Riverside Place. Our goal is to keep the seniors in our community active and involved in many different events. This is the list of some of the things that I do. I do bingo as well as virtual bingo through the Treasure Cove Casino, and we stream live at Riverside Place. It's getting very popular with the seniors in the community. We do monthly trips to Prince George for seniors from Riverside and the community. We do country drives, theme parties for all occasions at Riverside, and invite seniors from the community. Daily exercises, walks in Riverside Park, golf cart rides, transport seniors to community events with our bus. We are starting to do lunch outings for the ones that would like to. We have a very large greenhouse that is used by all residents. The staff at Riverside Place have been using their own vehicles to transport seniors for appointments in this community. We have many calls from the community asking for rides to appointments, and we are not able to assist them with this. We are looking into the possibility of finding funding to purchase a van to help out our seniors. Thank you.
Awesome. Any questions on either one of those programs? Looks like you covered it all.
Yeah. Sweat now.
Awesome. Thanks for coming and presenting.
Thank you.
Good neighbors aren't here yet, so. We could. Yeah, and that was really fast. Awesome. The Chaco Senior Citizens?
Sure. Short and sweet.
Sounds good.
So, good evening to all. My name is Joanne Penner. I'm president of the Nechako Senior Citizen Society, number 93. And we are a nonprofit and owners of the Friendship Hall. So we've applied for 50% of the cost for an automatic emergency defibrillator, known as an AED. For, I think I wrote 1,082. I couldn't find my form. Anyway, so we have received 50% of the funding through the grant and aid from the Regional District of Bulkley-Nechako Electoral Area F for a sum of 1,081.44, which is 50% of the one that we had looked into. And the thought was that maybe both districts could help us. The AED is used to help those experience sudden cardiac arrest. It is sophisticated yet easy to use medical device that can analyze the heart's rhythm and, if necessary, deliver an electrical shock or defibrillation to help the heart establish the effective rhythm. The lifespan is 10 to 15 years. We've had input from the community paramedic on which one is suitable for the Friendship Hall. We currently have senior activities each day of the week now. And the beginning of September of this year, we're fully booked and booking into next year. So it's kind of hopping right now. The Friendship Hall is very active and needs emergency equipment. The AED we were to order. Oh, this is kind of a question on top of because it's on back order for 6 months, this particular one. And that if we do receive the grant, is there a problem in pre-ordering this item before the grant is, like, are we still eligible if we were to get it? Some grants you can't order until you get the grant. So that's my question, because we do have 50%. We could front, but it's back ordered for 6 months and this grant would come into June, and I was just a question on top of it. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Some grants, it states definite that you cannot purchase anything until before it's done. Okay, that's good to know. I can bring that up at the meeting. So are there any questions? Like, I can give you some more information on this particular one if you'd like. I see you have one in the hall. It's
Yeah.
not the same brand we're looking at, but it is one of the top ones.
Any questions, council? No, they're wonderful machines and they're so easy to use nowadays. They talk you through the whole process.
I know, and I'm not that part of the medical field. I'm in the food part.
Yeah,
So, but we have several nurses and we have the paramedic there, and I'm sure, and then it's something we have to add to our rental agreement too.
Yeah.
You know, that they need to know and stuff like that. But yeah, just okay. Thank you. You guys have a good evening.
thank you.
Okay.
Can't get rid of that. Oh, apparently I can.
Who are you with?
Okay.
Which group are you with? Let's go there. The Otters, the Nechako Otters.
Yes.
Swim club, whatever. Got the Otters logo on the front of the printout, so.
Keeps jumping all over the place.
Won't talk about how the Otters are eating all our sturgeon, but.
On the trampoline and they're like, "Oh, look, they're snacking up there." It's so
I'm Sarah Lazarick. I'm currently the secretary of the East Swim Club. Pardon me? Okay, thank you. So we've applied for the grant and aid for the in-kind use of the arena during our swim meet. That's all we're asking for at this point. And we just want to show you why. This one maybe. So we need the arena for space. So I don't know if you've seen the pool while we're having a swim meet, but it's really tight for space. This is an example of pictures. I think maybe you've seen these last year, but these are pictures of the Mackenzie facility, I believe, during a swim meet. And so usually they drain the hot tub and the leisure pools, and that's where all the kids sit. And so we don't do that here because of the water. We're not able to do that to drain them. So we look for the arena. And we've done this for 2 years now, and it's been incredibly successful using the arena. These are just more pictures of Mackenzie. So you can see they drain the hot tub. There's kids sitting in there. You can see on the side of the pool, there's bleachers there in Mackenzie. We just don't have that space here. Yep. So that's why we use the arena. And it's just perfect for proximity for us. In other communities like Mackenzie, for example, we camp behind the pool and we're not able to do that here. So there's just really nowhere for people to go. The arena is the best place. That's where they rest between their heats. We do some marshalling in the arena. We feed people. We do the award ceremony. We've actually received a lot of compliments on having that space for everybody. It's quite nice. It can be really hot. That whenever we have it, it can also be really cold and rainy. So it's nice to have an inside space for people. These are just more pictures of inside the pool. So you can see that there's people lined up on all sides of the pool. We have coaches between the leisure pool and the lap pool. We have officials behind the diving blocks, and then we have officials and then parents watching. So we don't even have room for parents to sit for all that. So they just come in for their kids to race, really, and other skaters come in just to watch their own. These are just more pictures so you can see how tight it is even behind where the diving blocks are and where the hot tub is. And these are our sponsors. Are there any questions?
Any questions? None.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
your time.
Thank you, sir.
Em, I see you're online. Are you ready to go?
Hi there. I could be ready.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, if
Right,
you're
great.
ready, let's go for it.
Sure, let's go. All right. Well, thanks a lot for having me. My name is Kim Menunis from the Nechako Watershed Roundtable. I'm the co-chair of the roundtable, and a shout out to Mayor Moutre as a former co-chair of the roundtable as well. I did not send in a presentation, so I'll just verbally report to you some of the further benefits of the Nechako, the annual Nechako youth paddling trip that some funds from the District of Vanderhoof would help support. So this year was a really fantastic year for the trip. We had some funding from the Pacific Institute of Climate Solutions to support a staff person to organize that event, and we hope to do something similar for next year. This year, so having this kind of support and support from the community enabled a wonderful trip that allowed 2 separate days of youth paddling and engaged about 50 youth, although there were about 21 that were actually able to get in boats and paddle. But over the course of the work to organize the event, we engaged with over 50 youth in the Nechako watershed. So I know you have the proposal in front of you, and I won't just repeat what's in there, but I do want to emphasize the key themes of the Nechako annual youth paddling event. So that event is the only actual hands-on program of the Nechako Watershed Roundtable, which is an organization that aims to convene people within the watershed to promote actions and work towards a healthy watershed, which, as you know, helps to promote sustainable communities. So with this program, some of the key things, supporting youth engagement. So there, like I said, there were 2 separate groups over 2 days that were able to get in boats and paddle. Some of them, there was their first time paddling a boat, paddling a canoe. The cultural connections that were built through that event were fantastic. We had members from Nak'azdli and Sycas First Nations come and provide welcome to the territory, some cultural experiences like a drum circle and prayers. And then knowledge sharing. So demonstrations from some professionals in government, private, and academic research provided some hands-on learning and connection. An additional demonstration from an environmental professional showcased potential career opportunities in water monitoring. And then, like I mentioned, watershed health, so experiential learning about the importance of the Nechako River and the broader health of the watershed, creating those connections to sustainability in the community. And then finally, just sort of the togetherness in the watershed that was that sort of brought people together at the barbecue get together, which also involved not just the youth paddling for the day, but many other community members and connections from UNBC, the Nechako Environment Watershed Stewardship Society, the Nak'azdli, Sycas, too many organizations and people to mention, but all extremely appreciated. And overall, a really fantastic event. So I'll just close by saying that funds from the District of Vanderhoof would support this event substantially. Putting a bunch of youth in canoes requires significant safety planning and professionals, which come with fees. So that would really support the event happening again. And sorry, I said that was the last thing, but I did one more thing to mention. This year was the first year that we partnered with the Rivershed Society, and we aim to do that ongoing. So we have outside support as well, and the event is gaining some notoriety and attention from outside the watershed as well. It's becoming quite well known. So thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to you. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Kim? You must have answered all the questions because there's none coming from council here.
All right. Well, thanks again for the opportunity to speak to you, and have a good evening.
Awesome. Thank you for the presentation.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Jasmine and Michelle, you're up. You come up to the podium. All good.
Do you want to run it on your laptop? Sure. Did you just plug in?
How?
Oh, I have to send it. Oh, Willie, I can send it to you right now.
Just, you can use my laptop, send it to join the meeting. Or you can not use the presentation, whichever you like. It just takes a sec, but you have to email it to me. Corporate at, oh wait.
It takes as long as actually. I could forward it. Gotta use it. She's got so much going on. Well, I said.
Okay, so it's corporate at district.vanderhoof.ca.
Sorry, everyone.
No problem.
Where's my mouse? Oh, it's the wrong mouse.
Oh,
Too many.
sure phone license.
I had three computers.
Yeah, I got the corporate word, corporate.
Yeah, at district. .vanderhoof.ca. That's my laptop. So
So
my mic was on. It gets worse, actually.
Yes, yeah, there were tons of people there. I just came from the Healing Fire in Texas. And yeah, it was really good. Really, really good. Were you there when we did introductions around the circle?
No.
Oh, okay, that was nice too. Yeah, that's good.
There it goes.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
So you just have to hit the arrow to advance.
Easy,
Okay.
thank you. Okay. That's good. Okay. Did you want to start or do you want me to start? So my name is Jasmine Clausen with the Good Neighbors Committee. I am the sole employee of the Good Neighbors Committee. We operate under the umbrella of the Nechako Healthy Community Alliance. Should I be speaking into this? Sorry. Yeah, we operate under the administrative umbrella of the Nechako Healthy Community Alliance. And we are a committee who we're a registered nonprofit society aimed at supporting local initiatives that encourage healthy living. And the GNC specifically, our mission is to advocate for a diverse, welcoming, inclusive, vibrant, progressive community for all. So we do this by providing resources, outreach, education, and creative programming that addresses racism and hate and supports a welcoming and inclusive community for everyone. So our application for the grant and aid is for cultural diversity events happening next year. We are currently in Cultural Diversity Week 2023. And so this week we've got plenty of activities. We've invited the community to join at the Sycaz Healing Fire that happened tonight. Yesterday we went for a walk through the community's nature trails. Later this week, we'll have a virtual gathering that the community can join to learn more about the Good Neighbors Committee and how cultural diversity is beneficial for all in our community. And all of our events this week we're also doing a partnership with the CALP program, so the Canadian Adult Literacy Program. And the newcomers to our community through the CALP program are hosting a tea at the Integris Community Center. So we'll have tea and we'll sit down and learn about their culture, and maybe we'll learn to say welcome in different ways. But it's great for them because it kind of puts it gives them a way to be involved in the community. So they've decided to throw the tea, and so they are going to welcome us instead of us welcoming them, which is going to be really nice. But anyways, all of these events are leading to our big event on Saturday, which is the Cultural Diversity Open House. And at this open house, we have invited different cultural groups to bring textiles, music, photos, books, anything that they have that represents their culture, as well as snack-sized foods so that we can all try things from their cultures. So we'll have a table hosted by Jason. Shoot, his name escapes me. Jason from The Gifted Chef. So they'll be doing the Filipino food. My friend Rada Kravets, she is a Ukrainian refugee who's living in Vanderhoof, and she'll be making something for us as well, and sharing a bit of her story, and hopefully bring her young son Igor, who is just a ray of sunshine in our community. We'll also have Fawaz, who makes baklava at the farmers market. Allison Johnny is making bannock, and she may join us for the event as well. We've got more. We've got more. Anyways, so we'll be exploring others' cultures through food and through hearing their stories and sharing our own. Oh, my dad's going to come there and bring roll kuchen from the Mennonite community. I lived him into doing it. So any chance to make roll kuchen, I'm there. Yeah, what else can I share?
I don't know. That sounds good. It's a great.
It is, it's great. So that's on Saturday. It's from 12 till 4. This Saturday, 12 to 4. It's going to be at the Vanderhoof Tourism and Cultural Center. So it's also a chance to show off that beautiful building that we have. Oh, I do want to go through the slides, sorry. So about the Good Neighbors Committee. Anyways, that's the bulk of what we're planning on doing. So for next year, we would just like to do the same thing. And based on the anticipated wild success of this year's events, which we had a great turnout tonight at the Healing Fire, and we had some really good conversations. It was really nice to open up with the Sycus community. So anyway, so about the Good Neighbors Committee, maybe.
I'm pretty new to the committee myself, but I've attended some events. So you already eloquently talked about the mission, and I'm just excited to be involved with the committee. I've admired the work over the last 20-ish years or more. Been some dedicated people that are still involved that were there at the very, very beginning. It's evolved, ebbed and flowed, I guess, depending on funding, and it seems to be having a bit of a resurgence as a committee. So there's quite a few new members, me included. And so this is just a list of all kinds of things they've done over the past 20 years. And I think I participated in the Taste of Culture. I did go see the Sycus and Settlers play. And then I've got many copies of this book that was a collaboration. And if you don't, I'm sure the village has some copies as well, but it's actually worth a reading. It's kind of one of those books you want to have on your shelf at home.
I actually bought a copy because it's such a good snapshot of what life in Vanderhoof is actually like when you live here. And it doesn't change much in the 10 years that it's been published. It hasn't changed that much. So.
Yeah. I also participated in the blanket exercise, and I think there's probably room for us to think about doing that again sometime soon. I work for the school district, and I'm talking about maybe doing it with staff across the school district as well. The dinner and dialogue was fascinating, where people got to talk with people they didn't know around difficult conversations, difficult subjects, and it was done really well. They facilitated in a safe way so that people felt like they could say what they needed to say, even though we're probably disagreeing with each other. And the facilitators did a beautiful job of ensuring that everybody had a voice at the tables. So it's just a group that I think every community should have. There's the UNDRIP. I didn't actually make it to the park, TRC in the park. That was cool though. I think Kevin, you were there for almost every one of them. Good. And we've tried virtual gatherings. I can't get it to move, so there we go. They're participating in all kinds of community events, trying to raise the profile of the Good Neighbors Committee. Lately, last couple of years, we've had people say they don't know what it is. So one of our action items is to develop a higher profile.
So I started in June of 2023. And so having an employee has enabled us to attend events during the daytime that we wouldn't otherwise be able to go to because all of our committee members work mostly full-time or a bit more. So we drummed up lots of publicity for the Mary John Walk this year, which was really well attended. For Overdose Awareness Day, we had some good conversations in the community at the farmers market and at in healthcare offices. We attended the farmers market. We did a counter protest in support of inclusive education in September because there was a protest outside the school board office and actually outside of this office, which I'm sure you all saw if you were here. And so we were just there to be a positive show of support for the students and for teachers and faculty. We met this year with Mabel Elmore, who is the Parliamentary Secretary for Anti-Racism Initiatives, to discuss our hopes and dreams and aspirations and how the government can support us in that. We did a strategic planning session and many, many things came out of that. What else? So funding for our sole employee, myself, was obtained from the Canadian Heritage. So it's the CS Mari grant. We've also got funding from BC Multiculturalism and Resilience BC. And with that funding, we are doing all of these projects that you see on the screen right now. So we've got lots planned for the next year and a half until the end of March 2025. And we're hoping that we can continue to receive grant funding to keep it all going.
You haven't had a chance to listen to the podcasts?
Yeah.
They're really worth a listen. Local community members are interviewed. Our oldest got interviewed. I was interviewed. And it's wonderful to get to know a variety of people in our community, things that they face.
Mm-hmm. And we have a second series of podcasts actually dropping this week, tomorrow. So our first set was community conversations. This one is conversations for change. And so we're looking at how to have those difficult conversations with people. So the grant and aid funds would aid with the cost of food and materials for participants and exhibitors. So our cultural groups, it incentivizes them to come to our event and prepare their food because the cost of food is skyrocketed and we can't expect them to pay for that out of pocket. It would also help with printing promotional materials. So our community response protocol explains exactly what to do in each situation of discrimination or hate and who to turn to. We've also got the Good Neighbors Committee brochure, which just tells you more about us, as you've already heard lots, and marketing items, because we really do want to get the Good Neighbors Committee out there and get our mission out there just as much as the opposing mission is out there. It would also help with advertising the event and hosting various other parts of the week as needed. So that would be like bringing a fruit tray to the healing fire and things like that. So we have planned a lot of low cost activities for the rest of the week, or no cost, but it would help with that as well. So that's it. What do we do?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for Jasmine or Michelle? No questions.
Please check our Facebook page because we have lots going on this week.
Yeah.
If you want to have a look and join us.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Start at 12 noon on Saturday?
Yes, 12 noon, Saturday. Saturday Tourism and Cultural Center.
You might as well stay standing, Michelle. I assume you're coming back up. You're next.
I was so happy when you came through the door. I wasn't gonna leave you, but I'm the last minute girl, and now you're the.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Eva Alden. I'm treasurer for the Circle of Hearts Society for Women. And everybody knows Michelle.
Gauthier, and I'm one of the directors.
Yeah. So basically, our Circle of Hearts Society for Women was incorporated as a nonprofit society in February of 2018 to address an identified gap in community services support for women. The society is based on the belief that the well-being of women is key to the health and vitality of a community and its families, with social connections being one of the keys. So our mission is to inspire women to enhance their well-being through social connection and support in a nurturing and inclusive environment. Our vision is to empower women to feel and be their best through self-care, self-love, and stronger social support networks. So our board of directors is President Cindy Chipchase, Vice President Yuta Schoenhart, myself as treasurer, Secretary Vicki Ford, and then we have Michelle, Kim Worthington, Ingrid Kutzner, and Lacey Borno as our directors. Since our incorporation, our society has held 4 free family dances for the community. Each dance has been well supported with about 125 to 140 in attendance. People of all ages, toddlers to elders, attend each year and enjoy socializing, great music, dancing, free food, and prizes. So there's no admission for the dance. Everything is provided at no cost to the participants. We feel that this removes barriers for families that may not otherwise be able to attend. At our most recent dance, we received comments from young people and children such as, "This is the best night ever," and "Being up on stage has helped me find my voice." You know, they get brave and do the karaoke thing. It was really, really neat to see. Our society relies mainly on donations for all of our events. We have an annual membership of $20, and which mainly covers our events such as paint night and pottery night. 2 of our dances have been funded through the district's grant and aid, and one from Nechako Kitimat Development Fund. So this year we are requesting $2,500 so we can once again host our annual dance in October of 2024. It's our goal to be able to continue to provide this valuable event at no cost to our community. Thank you very much for your consideration. Anybody have?
Great. Any questions for? Oh, man. My iPad went to sleep. I'll get you here, Tom. There we go.
Not really a question. I just want to say my family attended the family dance this year, and my grandkids could say nothing but good things about it. So thank you very much. I really think it's a very important thing for our community. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for that, Tom.
I've been impressed the last couple of years at the number of teenagers that come and stay. They're a little bit shy and they kind of wonder if it's really for them and if we're welcoming and hold them in and get them on the dance floor. So many of them had stayed. And this year they came in costume. Many of them came in costume.
Yeah.
Some
They
didn't
did.
come in costume, but their mothers were in costume. Kids hanging out with their mom. So it was really cool. So
Yeah.
and Melanie Labatch from Syca's brought a van load of kids in. So
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, so I don't know, it's become more than we ever expected.
for sure. So thanks again.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. We're ahead of schedule. Are there more coming from the Clippers? Or is it just you, Paula? Okay, that's
Thank you for meeting with me. My name is Paula Wiley. I'm from the Taliban First Nation, but live, work, and play and grew up in Sycas First Nation. I am from the Vanderhoof Clippers Speed Skating Club. I'm pretty new to the club on the board. My little guy is 9 years old and he's on the speed skating club. He actually just finished some races in Prince George. It was the BC Cup this weekend, so he's too young to skate in it, but he did get out of competition races and he had a blast in it. So
nice.
I'm the treasurer for the Clippers Speed Skating Club, and we're applying for the grant and aid for $2,500 because we have. I joined last fall, and we applied for, prior to my time, a gaming grant, and we weren't successful in that gaming grant, and so what we're trying to do is to reach out to get some funding to help to keep the costs for the club down, because our club isn't huge. I think it has 40, has about 46 skaters into it. And then also with board members, it's up to 66 and volunteer coaches. All of the executives and coaching are volunteer positions. So we really rely on kind of grants for that. So we're just looking for some support with that. It's a very healthy club. They work very, very hard. Like I said, just this last weekend, we had participated and skated against Vancouver and Kelowna and all sorts. There was lots of people that came to that to register. So we were able to travel to these meets. And there's other meets as well that the coaches actually volunteer their time and go with our youth to these events. So I want to say on behalf of my son that I find that this actually helps with, especially during COVID times. My little guy he had a lot of anxiety, and I noticed that he didn't want to leave the house and see people. And so the speed skating club continued throughout that. And I had to go on the ice with him. That was a little bit dicey. I am not a speed skater, but it really helped him flourish and come out and get comfortable once again. So any support would be greatly appreciated.
Great. Does anybody have any questions for Paula? No? Thank you very much for your presentation. It's nice to get ahead, but then we run out of people.
Yeah, I was gonna, you know.
See you guys.
I miss her. Oh, did you?
Yeah. Why don't we take 5? We'll try and set this up and Awesome. I think we've got Sammy online there. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Awesome. So thanks for coming in a little early and we can go over your application. I'll leave it to you.
Okay, thank you guys for having me. I was a little last minute and I planned to be there in person, but my newborn and I kind of got sick, so I didn't want to pass on the germs. We are Mulva Hill Rodeo, so it's myself and my fiance, and then we also have like, it's kind of the whole family kind of joins in. I was born and raised in Vanderhoof, and currently we actually live in Quesnel. We are working on moving back to Vanderhoof. We're just kind of working on trying to buy something, and it's difficult, as most people know. So this event that we're hosting is the second time we've hosted it. So we hosted it last year, and it was a very last minute event. My fiance has wanted to hold this event in Vanderhoof for probably the last 15 years. He's been at the rodeo every year since it started, which was 13 years ago, and provided stock for it for multiple seasons. So we kind of decided just to have the event and try it out, and it went incredibly well last year. All of the hotels sold out. There was actually several people that couldn't stay after the event because there were no hotel rooms left, so they ended up having to go back to Prince George. And yeah, it went really well. I kind of wrote out the different groups and things that benefit from the event. So we have our NBSS Dry Grad is they are gates and security for us. And so that provides them with $1,000. That's our donation for them. The NBSS ski team, we donate $500 for them to do our DD services. The Nechako Valley Dairy and Beef 4-H Club is another $500 plus all of their recycling they do our cleanup. So they'll take all of the bottles and all that stuff and have all of that. The BC Livestock, so we store our animals there for 3 days because we generally try to come a day before the event and then leave a day after. So the cost of storing the animals there. The hotels, like I said, all of them sell out. So our quote for all of our rooms, just for our crew, is $2,700. So that's what we pay for our rooms. And then I honestly don't know what the rest of the hotels have, like what their profit is from selling out. I know that all of them have had people in their hotel from the event, which was really nice. And they also, many of them are sponsors for the event because of bringing the customers in. The restaurants, McDonald's happened to be one of the only places open on the next morning after the event, and they were super busy. The grocery stores, gas stations, all of those things, because we buy our pop and ice and fuel all there. The NVES, so it's about $2,500 for us to rent the arena. So that goes to them to keep the arena running. We support Children's Theater because they run the concession, as well as Speckled Sow runs a second concession. So this year we're planning to have kind of an indoor market in the mezzanine. So we're looking at 15 to 20 different businesses having each a table, so people can kind of come in, kind of like the regular indoor markets that they already have. Just kind of added on for people to go and kind of look at different things and buy different things while they're at the event. Our DJ service for the dance is local. They're Ken and Kitty Threlkeld. Our pickup men and one of our bullfighters are all local people. So one of the bullfighter is actually my brother, Tyler, and he fought the last year for us. And then, of course, like the spectators, everybody comes and they enjoy the event. We were sold out. We were actually very pleasantly surprised with how full the event was, which kind of brought us to a bit of an issue with the chutes are at one end of the arena, and the two far sides where the bleachers are at the very back, it makes for really poor visibility for a lot of people. So one of the ideas that we had was to bring in the metal bleachers, and we already cut the arena partially, not quite in half, but kind of. So our idea was to bring those metal bleachers in on the other side of our freestanding panels to have more viewing for spectators. We did have last year in August when we had a bull riding during the fall fair. We did that exact same thing. However, we used their wooden bleachers that are that the NVDS has, and it worked incredibly well. It kept all of the beer gardens in one location. They went through the door, the foyer door, and they didn't have to walk by the rest of the spectators, and it left an extra 400 people space for that many people on the side of the arena for people that were not in the beer garden. So it really made a big difference for visibility and for having that extra space for extra people and families to enjoy the event. So that's what we're hoping for, is to have the stands donated by the city in order for us to be able to improve that visibility for the town and its people, along with other people that travel to come too. Like I know probably 100 of our dance tickets went to people from out of town because they followed, and everybody wants to do something on New Year's, right? So it brings people in from out of town, and it also provides a lot of entertainment and enjoyment for the rest of the town, as well as support for businesses and people. We have right now about just over $21,000 worth of sponsorship that come out of Vanderhoof's businesses for this event. So it's been a really exciting event to put on, and we're just hoping that having these stands would help to provide that better visibility for the people so that it makes that event that much more enjoyable for the people. And then, sorry, I also missed the tables and chairs as well. We were also hoping to have tables and chairs donated by the city as well, just for the dance, just so that there's places for people to sit during the dance and enjoy themselves.
Sounds good. Does anybody have any questions for Sammy? Councillor Bulmer.
So if I understand this right, you're not asking for any cash. You're asking for in-kind donations of the bleachers, tables, and chairs.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's all. I just need a clarification. Thanks.
Yeah.
Great. Any other questions? That looks like it. Well, thank you very much for presenting on your application, Sammy.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. We'll move straight on to Connexus.
I'm going to read from the thing here. This is Gordy. I'm Mark. I'm the Valley View coordinator. I've been working with this awesome gentleman for 2 years now. So I'm just going to explain a little bit about Connexus. Connexus is a multi-level social services society that provides supports to Vanderhoof, Fraser Lake, Fort St. James, and surrounding areas. The reason we exist, we empower individuals to take healthy steps to improve their well-being. And the grant that we're asking for the street cleaning is actually a very big thing that these 4 residents do, and they actually really enjoy it. And also too, like the people in the community, when they see these gentlemen coming out, they're always stopping, they're thanking them, and they get that confidence. And so it's been a really nice thing for me to see in the 2 years, like when we take them uptown and when we see the people just approach them and they go home and they're proud of it. And like every day they're like, oh, when are we going street cleaning again? Or when are we doing this? So they take a lot of pride into this. And so it's been a really powerful thing. And like I said, I'm very honored that I get to work with these gentlemen and with Connexus. And so that's what we're asking for, is the street cleaning grant. Sorry, I'm not much of a talker. Well, I am just on stuff like this. So you can get me talking any other way. But Gordy, did you want to say anything?
Hello, Gordy.
Awesome. Does anybody have any questions around the table? None? Well, thank you so much for doing this service. We really appreciate it.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
these guys, and you have a great evening.
You
Thank
too.
You come to me?
But you want me to bring, she wants to go to Timmy's now because that framed out. The Timmy's here. You have a good evening. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Okay, I believe that just leaves the SAR one. I'm not going to speak to it. I just had a couple of clarifications. Chris Walker wasn't able to be here tonight. Where it says, is this an operational request? That should read no, not yes. I think going forward, we might put some definitions of what an operational request in. It's easily confused if you're not used to the language. And just to what this grant, what they're looking to do is to get 3 workstations that would be the Levino micro computers that would be bolted inside the mobile command center. Each would have 2 monitors. So this would represent less than 1/3 of the funding they're looking for. So there will be either self-funding or other funders involved in that. That's it. And the chamber one was just an in-kind request for stuff around the Pumpkin Walk and Parade of Lights, right? Yeah. 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 Awesome. Oh, yeah. Do you have a battery? No.
He's gonna beat it a little bit.
It's not turning on at my end though. Oh.
Loading.
I know I have.
I'm sure it's fascinating TV. Awesome.
Presentation at the November 14th meeting, and that's for the Parade of Lights and the pumpkin.
Your mic just went off again. That's weird. Right at the end, so I think it should have caught most things.
Do we know when the library is coming?
No.
No. Yeah. Okay.
No.
Okay. That's a long night, guys. I'll declare us adjourned. Thank you very much.